Very good. Well, hello, people. This is Sil here.
Now, a word from our sponsor, State Farm.
Sasquatch.
It's all good.
That would
And
be.
we are live.
Yeah.
I love the little thingy on the side that says live. Live.
It's to keep you in check. You know, keep you reminded of your position and your place. Hey, we're live. We're not dead. So, um,
Awesome.
big news from NASA's over there.
Yes, I've got some.
Because, yeah, me too.
And with that government funding has come NASA's newest addition, Ninja.
And
Ninja.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it's a pretty sweet looking plane because he already had me building all these things. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're not
And I
bad.
went ahead and I haven't tested this one, but all these fly amazing. And I built a bigger one. So that's going to be awesome to test out to see how this one does. But as of right now, this one's going to fill the medium attack roll and go from there. And then with that, we also have the finding of spider.
Oh yes.
Oh, there
Yes.
goes the camera.
Now he's got these giant hands.
Bah.
He blew them up. He blew them up. Hey, I got a question for you regarding these two, by the way.
Yep.
Mine, the ninja that you had me build, at least the second one, number 9. Do you have any problems with it poofing out like right there? Because I've noticed this one has done that.
You're talking about right, like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it does it, but it's not gonna kill it.
Okay. Well, I'm just checking to make sure because like you've already flown them a few times. I haven't flown them. Well, I haven't flown them outdoors at all, and yet mine's like really expanding. I mean, just sitting there, it's like this. Look at that crap.
Yeah, I mean mine's not terrible, um, but you can see it separating.
Well, also
Um,
I was wondering, related to that, like if you had any plans on perhaps taping those together or down or something to prevent that in the future, or
I definitely might tape those down. I might actually cut into them and make them like strikes along the fuselage. It's kind of hard to say.
okay, okay,
Um, I'm definitely thinking about that within the next couple of ones, doing that.
that ought to be pretty cool. But anyway,
Yeah.
didn't mean to get a little sidetracked, but I was just noticing it.
Uh,
He
so
he found Spider.
yeah, I mean, I thought I found it, or at least I thought I knew what I was building, and then I forgot that. Let's see, I should have it right. Where did it go? Where did it go? Where did it go? Okay, here we go. What I thought I was doing, let me get this one, was I thought the angle of the fuselage was this way, where it slants up. Well, it actually is completely opposite, and the actual angle of it is down. And it seems to work better. I haven't tested this one outside yet. I was going to try to do that today, but didn't get a chance. Um, but it definitely, the indoor flights definitely seem to um, be much better with this one.
Much like how
Um,
they're supposed to be for Spider.
Yeah, exactly. And they still slant the anhedrals, and we got a baby hand in the way.
Oh, these are things that happen from time to time. Bear with us, people. Bear with us. But it did take a little bit of finding. He had Spider. He was building it. He's building it away, and every now and then you run across this problem when you're developing your planes, and you take a hiatus on one because you're building another or something like that. And not all of you do this. I don't usually do it, but it happens to people. And then you forget, and then if you come back to it and like just without thinking, put something new on it. In his case, it was a slanted fuselage the other way, and that was not Spider. I mean,
No, it definitely some of them flew. They flew okay. They just didn't perform like they're supposed to or they had been. And so with that, putting it, the way it's supposed to be actually helped. Uh, go back and find my original model per se. Now with that gets us to our first topic, which is I don't even remember off the top of my head.
or the main topic.
Or the main topic, I should say.
Yeah, which is our collaboration in general, collaborating efforts with other contractors, other members, and stuff. Um, and we bring that up because, well, I pointed out the thing about Spider. It was like having a different slant, so he put the slant on, bam. And the other one was just a small thing with the new ninjas. He he made me build this thing. He held me at gunpoint and made me build this thing. And it's pretty cool. It was pretty cool. This is the first one. This is just like the first one he made me build. Um, and if you can see, it's got it has rifle on top, and it folds over, and it develops itself these little pockets, like out to the side here, from the fold that comes over the top. Well, when you have, at least in my mind anyway, when you have a little pocket that ends right here before it even gets to the bottom of the wing, I was like, okay, what if we did something with that? So like you should cut it and fold it down, which was the end result of these. So it's got the little streaks over there. And now he tells me these planes rock.
Yes, definitely. The ones with the strakes are definitely they have a longer duration. They have uh, just a much more distance on the plane itself. Um, it's definitely something that I put even on the big one. I put I put them on there.
Holy cow, and they're bigger on that one too.
Yeah, they're bigger. They're a little bit different angle because of the fact that the way this big one's made. Um,
Did you cut that with a saw blade? The thing looks ragged on the edge there. Holy cow.
well, that's what I was having trouble with. You saw me having troubles with it with the X-Acto knife. It just wanted
It,
to,
it had
you
that
know,
sawing motion when cutting. Yeah, okay, gotcha.
yeah, I
Okay.
don't know what I'm doing. But I mean, they both sides really have it. I mean, for the most part, so it should be pretty close to being the same.
Probably, yeah, probably something minor, if anything. I don't think it'd be something that was going to make a difference anyway.
Right. And total now between the big ones and the small ones, I have 14.
Wow. See now, see how fast your test, see how fast your fleet builds quickly when you like your bird and try to want to do things with it. Yeah.
So within a matter of, mm, I don't even remember when the first one was built. I have to go look back at the other four that I have over there. But it's within the weeks.
Rollout was the 20th, I think, right? Or the 19th? 20th.
No, it might have been a few days before that. I have to give you the exact date.
Oh, okay. Oh, see, but again, going back to how we were saying that, there was like already with Ninja here, he built a couple of them, and they were pretty good the way they were. I thought it was cool. He obviously wanted me, like thought they were cool. He wanted me to build them right away. So then I built the other one. And I said, like, let's put strikes on it. It just looked like a natural place for straight. And here we go. Look at that thing.
Yeah, it definitely, and that's why we get to the collaboration part. Without Dave mentioning that, um, I wouldn't be as excited as I am. I was excited about the plane to begin with because it's one of the first ones that I built in a long time that actually every single one that I build is flies. There's no issues with it whatsoever,
It's golden.
which is hard for the planes. I haven't found too many besides, you know, I have a few that are pretty steady and their consistency, but like Spider, Diablo, you can run through those.
Hmm.
I mean, they are good, but they are not consistent. And I've had more good ones than bad ones, but I can't build one every single time the same exact way, and both of them fly. I just can't. I don't know why.
Well, you got to admit, if you still like your bird, you're working with it like that. That's how you end up at 200 or 300 after as long, because one
Oh yeah,
sucks. And then still you're like, damn it, well, I want the next one good. That one sucks, but the next one's good. So
yeah. You get like one, one out of every, two or three that are good, and next thing you know, you got 300, 400. I was just looking back at my inventory sheet a little bit ago because I gotta go because I added Viper, not Viper, Ninja to it, and I was like, wow, there's some planes that I didn't have, like Firecat, for example. I've got to still update it, but at the time, it had six on there. I had six Firecats
six.
when I updated the sheet, and I have more than that now. But
See, I think that's why your inventory sheet's good to keep track of. I mean, it's not. It gets to be hard if you have like I don't know 40 different kinds of planes, or it gets hard if you have 400 of one kind of plane. But it can be handy with a smaller fleet like that, a more manageable fleet.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Um, and that's why, I mean, I was watching a video earlier. This guy Roberts actually took one of OAE's planes and kind of did a little bit of change to it um, and made it more of a solid fixed wing.
Indeed.
So it's just those type of things where you take ideas from each other and you kind of put them together and you can get sometimes a really really good aircraft. Um, and that's
Not everything is solid, but yeah, yeah.
oh yeah, I mean like we built Blade Wing together. That was garbage. Looks
Dude, Blade Wing was not that bad. We built way worse than Blade Wing.
well, we built worse that we didn't even fly because we just balled it up and threw it away or started it on fire. It was
There's
terrible.
to be official. There's only one in the book that actually says right now that we actually at this stage start over or just like crumble it up into a ball, light it on fire, start over. There's only one,
I don't
but
remember which one that was.
there's probably about four or five others that need to be done now. Same thing with. Then again, there's others that are like really
Oh
wild, and
yeah,
I'm
I
surprised they
still
fly.
have that. I still have that other one that we built.
The
What is
Scarab?
is that no? No, is that the one with the flat with the flat wing with the anhedrals that are kind of
Um, no, that wasn't that one. I'm trying to think of. Well, again, when we have these collaborative efforts, sometimes the they end up being like one or two build, and then we usually like just use them as testing, so we don't have fleets.
yeah, was it Nexus?
Oh, it could be Nexus. Yeah, that might have been Nexus actually. I'll have to reference the book. Hold on, let me get the book. I'll be able to
Yeah,
tell you
that's probably
whether
what
or
that was.
not that was
I'm
the
almost,
case.
but like in this instance, being collaborating with each other and not necessarily you know say
Hold on,
hey
let's see. Stop saying. Stop it from
or
saying
hey build that.
record.
We're just tossing ideas back and forth and ways to help advance each other's aircraft.
Let's
And we
see.
break out the handy dandy notebook.
Blade Wing, Hammerhead, Design 4, Design 5. After you get to this point, you light it with lighter and start fresh. Yeah, this one sucked. This one, this one was absolutely horrible.
Yeah, that's why we didn't name that one.
But there were a couple. We did name a couple of these other ones. However, I think I have all of these. Still, as a matter of fact, I know I have all of these still. Um,
Nope.
which one are we referring to?
I thought it was Nexus.
That has what now?
It was the one with the that looks it might look like that. It's flat. It's got a little bit of a fuselage. It's got a wide wing, and the anhedrals are tucked like this.
Yeah, that's Nexus. Yeah, that is the one.
Yeah, and that one I have in the room. Um, I like the look of that one, and that one actually flies pretty cool.
Huh.
I mean, I
I'm pretty
haven't flown
sure.
that one outdoors, but definitely for indoors, it's definitely pretty neat. Um, but I am like super excited about Spider. I'm looking forward to getting this thing out there now. Now that I have collaborated and collaborated,
Well,
calibrated and calibrated.
you just needed a reminding when it came to that one. That one was a little bit
Yeah, and
different.
I was wondering why I was having so much trouble with this plane, and that was like probably 98% of my problem.
Yeah, most likely. Because, yeah, if you're
It's
slanting it
just
the
that
opposite direction.
I knew that I had an angled fuselage, and most of mine angle up like that. Like for instance, on this one's got a slight angle up, and you know, like Diablo's got a huge angle up.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just crazy. Um,
And
yeah,
in case you're wondering, no, Diablo doesn't slant the other way.
no,
Before you go, like, wait a minute, maybe that's what I got wrong. It slants the other way. No, 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 no.
no. See,
Diablo doesn't.
this is a variant of Diablo, and this is another collaboration.
Indeed.
Um, we took a technology that he used on his Phase 6, and we put it on this one. And the weather, I don't know if it's got to be the weather, but this one, it just didn't fly that well at all. I mean, it looks really cool. I like it. Um, and you can do a lot of things with it.
Yeah, it
But this has got
obviously.
a huge slant going up towards the back. Um, and no, it does not have any anhedrals or anything. It doesn't. It The original one never had any, and it was amazing.
But the original was made out of notebook paper.
It
So,
was. Which was the other thing that you were talking about? Maybe the thicker paper is just giving it too much trouble right now. So I'm
this,
definitely gonna have to go back and try notebook paper.
or something of a lighter bond anyway. I mean, whatever is a lighter bond.
Even though I'm pretty much stuck on like printer paper and all that stuff, I like it. It's just it's just like the right
It's
thickness.
good. It's good, but it is crucial to
Hard.
expand your horizons. And folks, what we're doing, we're kind of like showing you here actually is like the full end of the spectrum of collaboration, and the fact of like just pointing out to somebody how their playing might be different, which is good to keep again photo records or written records of how your plans are built in case you've forgotten. Um, in the case of Spider there, that was just simple. Hey, it wasn't built like that. That's the most basis of collaboration in these efforts. Right up to the other end of that, which is our book here, which is us. I mean, the official word of building a plane together. If any of y'all have ever done that, probably one of the better ways, which we like to do, is just simply taking turns. One person starts out. We usually just base it off a simple flip of a coin. Like, okay, who starts out? Bam. They start out, and then one person goes, the next person goes, and you're completely at the whim of the person's turn. So it could be frustrating, but it could be totally ingenuitive at the same time. I mean, you'll get a
Yeah.
full range of emotions building these because it's like, whoa, what is this person going to do? I know where I could go from here, but I don't know what they're going to do, and
Yeah,
that's why
that's what we
you.
had. That's what we had the other night when well, I say the other night. It was like a week ago when we built that other one. Um, I
Which
was
we
like,
have
oh,
not
I know what.
tentatively named.
No, we didn't name that one. And if you've watched our other shows, it was the one that we had with the straw on the top. Yep, there it is.
That one there.
That one, both of ours are a little bit different because he has some stuff on it that I don't have, which is kind of weird. Um, Normally we don't end up that way, but mine is having a little trouble um, flying per se.
But again, I like to point out that mine is of a slightly thicker bonded paper for some reason, and I kind of didn't expect only slightly. This is not really bad. This pink sheet that I have is not
And
exactly standard copy paper, but
yeah, and I don't know if the straw type or size has a lot to do with it either.
true, true. We don't know that either. I mean,
Because I used a different type of straw than he did, so it you know it could be that that one is a little bit thicker or mine's a little bit too thick or I don't know. We'd have to actually sit down and weigh them
but
and
the
see
cool,
what it is. But
again, the cool thing is though you're at the mercy of your collaborator.
oh yeah, because
Build
when
something
we
like that.
when we were putting that tail on that we ended up taking off, I was like, oh, I know what I would do, and then it didn't happen.
You know what you did is you took it off. Yeah.
We took it off after that because we just messed around with it so much and put so much technology on that plane that it was hindering the plane. It was just like, okay, this has got to go.
Maybe maybe that's why eventually because we together like we try to like do these up. We try to like put everything on them that we can. Perhaps we should strip them down more. Like our next model should be like,
More
what?
basic.
Yeah, more basic. Let's just take I don't know, five things off of it and be done and see where we're at.
Yeah, yeah. Because I mean, it just got crazy. I mean, you started cutting and I started adding on, and then it was just I don't know what we were doing.
But I mean, it turned out well. Mine did. Mine turned out okay. This is not a
Yeah,
bad
yours
plane,
didn't turn out well, and it flew like crap. We probably would have burned that one too.
indeed. But I mean, it begged. Well, I mean, again, you have to be in motion with something like this when you do the collaboration with somebody. You kind of gotta like, you gotta semi anticipate what they're gonna do at least to a degree of, oh my God, what is gonna be next? I mean, this one first got built and he put a whole bunch of weight, like he caused the rifle to start to form and the front end, but it's still broad. We're like, okay, this thing's gonna have floppy wings if we don't have some kind of support. So I knew I was gonna go with some kind of support. I had no idea I was gonna turn into a straw, but there had to be some support there.
Yeah,
And that's what you end up doing. You could see it. I mean, you definitely see it if you build your own plane. You know where you're going to go, and certain designs when you start out, you know where you're going to go to, and you know what to expect out of them. But when somebody else is tweaking the design, you're like, I can't reiterate it enough. You're at their mercy. So it's like, oh God. That's not what I would do. Crap. If they make the wrong move, or in your mind the wrong move, or a different move entirely, then you're like, okay, what can I do to change this? That's how we happened, I think, on our first two, especially the first one. We like counteracted so much, we ended up cutting the plane in two pieces and putting it back together. And that was just,
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
oh god, that was sad.
It's because it ended up like crap.
It did end up kind of crappy. I mean, no, there's no saving it. It ended up crappy, but I'll still keep it because it's the very first one we completed together. So,
Yeah, well, see what had happened was there were
oh,
these terrorists and
oh,
government shutdown and budget cuts and the force was shortened, as you will.
there were some cutbacks.
There were some major cutbacks.
Pardon me for 1 second, folks. I'm going to show you something. Mark, you've been entertained.
Uh,
We'll play a jig.
See what had happened was I have no idea what he's going to do. Where are you going? D- Uh, uh, d- ah, this is very impromptu. I don't know where he's going. He could be gone for 5 seconds. He could be gone for 5 hours. But just so you know that um, when he comes back, we're gonna let him know that the phase is a terrible plane. So just because he's got 600 of one plane doesn't mean it's actually good. It's too good. That's why it's got to be taken away. We got to replace that plane. It needs to be replaced. It's got to be replaced. We don't have a choice.
Okay.
It sounds like he's back.
I was kind of scared what you were doing. I had to get back quick. And it turns out, hey, check this out.
Could you hear me?
No, I could not hear you.
Okay, well then you might want to have to go back and check out the video
This is gonna be.
after we're done with this because your phases need to be retired.
I had a feeling this was gonna be the case. But dude, look what I have here.
What is that?
Well, it's got a Delta Diamond.
It's a
That's these folded. It's got these folded forward anhedrals. It's got
made
this.
of Chinese paper.
It's made out of Chinese menu, and it's got the slit that starts here and goes down to the back.
It's a spider.
We have here a spider, and
Where did you get
it even says license built by me for you from you. Yeah, built this April 24th of last year,
what
and
number?
you had me coded as number 25. As a matter of fact, yeah, I have it on there. Look, it's even in silver.
Oh wow.
So I do have a spider, and all I had to do was reference this one. I haven't. I notice it isn't taped yet, but
You gotta fly that one.
I'll have to fly this one. How much tape does it require on the front?
Just a couple of pieces, whatever, it's not a lot.
And folks, that is probably one of the other main features of on the collaboration. By the way, is constructing each other's birds. As IVPAC members, we kind of like take that semi-seriously. When we consider it license building. We give it to one person their exclusive permission to like you go ahead and build this one. It's not really all that formal. I mean, because like I don't really consider our plane secretive or anything. Hell, most people have probably built the ones we've got, but just something we do to keep it a little bit more formal. Again, military styles, like giving you permission to build this plane so you can test it out, see what it's like. All of our members usually share that, and
Yes.
especially because again,
Like button down on the
you're
bottom.
what?
Click the like button down on the bottom if you want to see more videos like this.
Oh yeah, there's that. Yeah, my bad. Um, but it's also because like the different builds. I mean, different person building them and a different person throwing them is going to have a different result. So his spider might be my javelin, vice versa. You never know. So, and apparently I have to throw this.
It's definitely not javelin.
I'm not gonna hit her in the head. See, there's potential for strakes on this thing too, actually. Okay. Well, I'll throw it indoors here. Let me get a shot here and see what it looks like. Oh my god! Oh my god! That thing was horrible. I'm not gonna lie. That thing actually kind of blew donkey nuts. That thing just flew straight into the ground. I don't know what happened. Is it supposed to be kind of heavy?
It's kind of heavy.
Do you take a hard throw on this thing?
Yeah, it does.
It does take a hard throw. Okay. Well, I'm probably limited by how much I can do in here then. Oh! Yeah, it does take a hard throw, and I just punctured a lampshade with it, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but I can see why, though, because even that harder throw, it actually performed a lot better. So, yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those planes that you can throw it inside, but um, it just there, there it is.
This is the one we were talking about earlier. This is our SMA bird. This is Nexus. And rather, definitely a cool little bird. Definitely, like, those front folds up there, it looks rather exotic. And the anhedrals, which this one is, like, fighting for some odd reason. I have no idea why.
Yeah, they don't really fold down; they kind of fold in.
Yeah, that's technically. I'm sorry, I'm getting in my own way. Yeah, there.
It definitely likes that, though. That's what's weird about it. It likes that. It doesn't like them straight down.
No. I have no real explanation for that. It's really odd, but yeah. And it could very well be the rest of the folding into it too, because the plane itself is really
Yeah,
cool. I cannot stress it enough. This plane is really cool.
yeah, the nose is pretty thick in that one.
And here's another one that's really cool too.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
This one turned out to be, like, at least for me, one of the best flyers we had.
That one was really good.
This one is nice. For those of you out there that are supporting the flying wing kind of philosophy, this is pretty much it. We gave it a cylinder, which kind of, well, actually, it didn't latch into it at all. But the key is the front end here, which had most of our folds, and it folded back amongst itself and actually refolded in because there, if you can see it, there's a slit right there because we took the pointed end of it and folded it back against amongst itself around the bottom. So the nose is quite thick, while having absolutely nothing in the back body.
Yep.
And this
So
thing
not,
flies. This thing flies really good,
yeah,
even
so not
indoors.
yeah, not only does the cylinder, help add a little bit of weight, but it helps for stability. Oh, there it is.
This is Blade Wing. This is one of our earliest collaborations. This
It
is
looks
it looks cool. It doesn't fly that badly. His flew better than mine in these cases.
it's
Another one, which is odd because considering we built this one back in 2008, this is June 19th, excuse me, June 19th of '08's bird. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if NASA's gotten out of his immature folding stage quite yet, but it might have been the creases that worked against it. I built sharper ones than he did, and who knows, it might have worked, but his blade wings always seem to perform better than mine. But they look really nice. And they're close to interceptor style because they're super long, relatively heavy, and I mean, well, what the end result of that is an ingredient is going to end up being an interceptor, but I don't know. I wish they flew as good as his did. Mine sucked. There's
I
just no
just
sugarcoating it.
I just wish it actually flew better all around because mine wasn't that great.
Yeah, here it is, folks. Here it is. This is number one. This is the first one we ever tried. This is an embarrassment to paper airplane contractors everywhere. Uh,
I don't even remember what we called that.
we tried many things because of I don't know if showing you the
I think I. Well,
that was wild.
okay. I don't know what happened there. I thought I dropped the call.
No, we were through technical difficulties. That was good.
Whatever. That was
Whatever.
crazy. We'll have to check the video back on this one. This is funny.
And just continuing on with like some of them are this one because we're obsessed with O bodies having a tube. Um, when you're dealing with the paper airplane world, you have a tendency to call planes something different than what they would normally be. I mean, like when you say airplane, you picture an airplane, and of course it's got a round body because every freaking plane has a round body to a certain degree. But the standard paper airplane, if you're just folding a sheet of paper and you're not going all out, doesn't have one. So we have a tendency to call them O bodies when they have one. This is another SMA collaboration. This thing, yeah, it's not bad. You could
Yeah,
use this.
I remember that one definitely. Did you even keep the one that we decided to destroy?
I was gonna look back on that and see. I gotta reference the book here. That's why I kind of brought this out. Is I want to see if I actually did manage to keep it. I'm pretty sure I did. I don't. Like I said, I do not have the instructions for that giant orange piece of crap. Um, we started with Blade Wing and I started writing it up. I mean, I do have it coded, but other than that, no. Where's the one? 1P. Okay, that was 1PE. Folded avalanche. I don't know if we kept. Oh, dude, this thing was ridiculous.
I mean, you had the instructions.
I do have the instructions, so this, if ever the joke is that we want to build this thing again, it's
Was
not
it
going to
that?
happen. No, it's not this one. This is another one of ours that we used with the twin keel design, twin fuselage design that I'm also kind of semi obsessed with. Which this could be the start of something good, which me and KIA have been working with actually. Potentially the future of our transport planes right here, and something that's like this. A modular design. And utilizing this as well, as a matter of fact, is we're thinking about putting a cylinder, and I know this is a little bit sidetracked, forgive me, but think about putting a cylinder in between the cradles or the fuselages, acting as a cradle and holding modular transportability. Anything you want to like put in there, you can just slide it on up, tuck it away, bam, you're holding what kind of cargo you need. Just a tangent, sorry, but looking into that for the future. Looking around in this box, trying to see the ever beloved piece of crap that we created. Well, it wasn't this one, but this one was kind of cool. This one of the also I mean, exotic nose, all kinds of folds, really heavy.
Why?
This one didn't fly too badly.
I don't remember that one.
He don't remember this one. It's got
Wait,
this.
is that the? Is that got like the X-wing?
It's not really, but the only way it doesn't have anhedrals at all. It has dihedrals, winglets, if you will, because the underside body fold here. We fold
Oh,
the
that's
wing back
right.
up.
Yeah. I remember that one now.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause that was. I think that was my part. Like I decided to do that,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, well, let's just do it this way. Oh, I like that one. I remember that one.
This one, yeah, this one looks. Look, it's Nova paper. This one, uh, this was. ultimately a test, I guess. The whole thing is built asymmetrically. And boy, we had a time with that. It looks like when you first look at it, you're like, hmm. But let me tell you, if you're holding this thing, it messes with your sense of sensibility. And you can even see it right there. I mean, you're looking at it and like, okay, why is that one anhedral like twice the size of the other one? I mean, you got this much wing here and this much wing leading edge here. The whole plane is, yes, that is actually really how it's supposed to look. You can see the fold underneath it too. You got this little thin strip, thick strip. That's not even where, yeah, it's, this plane is weird. But it flies! I mean, it's just a stunt plane.
But yeah, it flies. I was
It,
surprised.
it flies. I mean, and I think you should probably have one of those in your stables too. Something to work with lateral instability because the plane itself is just going to be unstable because nothing on it is symmetrical, which goes against everything we ever say. You have to have symmetry to have the plane work. Well, that one, no, none of it's
That one
symmetrical. So,
that one definitely defies laws.
yes. Um, uh, yeah, this one here,
Oh,
this one is the end result of the failure of the one that died. This thing is exotic in its own self, just because of what it like the folds it has. And if you look on it, actually, it looks a lot like Team Diamond. And
really?
perhaps one of the reasons why I built it, and perhaps one of the reasons why actually no, I take it back. This is newer than Team Diamond, so maybe I got something from Team Diamond from it. But perhaps one of the reasons why we can't use it just because it's so difficult to get working. Um, it does have an early version of no weighted fuselage. There's only weight here at the tip. There's nothing here. This is I don't know if you can see it too well, but it's noble paper again. There is no paper here except for the single fold, and it doesn't start till right up here in the nose, and all the weight is up there. Pretty exotic up there in that nose.
That's right. I definitely remember that. That was pretty neat.
This one is very neat. This is a very neat design. I don't remember if this thing ever flew the way we were looking forward to it, but it
No,
is a
I don't think it flew.
it has got to be one of the neatest designs we came up with.
Yeah, because it's got the North on it.
No, not well. Yeah, it does kind of have North on it, doesn't it? Yeah,
Technically, um, even though it it technically didn't, we didn't cut it or whatever, but because the wings exceed past the end of the fuselage, I think that's what would be considered. I think that might be part of its problem.
yeah, most likely. Yeah,
It just doesn't have anything back there to for the air to follow.
this giant thing because we had to start it out with Chinese menu. And by the way, people, go grab yourself some Chinese menus. Really cool idea.
Yep. If you're in the South Florida area, yin yin can cook.
If you're in any area, go to the Great Wall or the Golden Dragon or the White Panda or something like that because they all got them and they all sound the same. Um, this one, suffice it to say, Chinese menu paper makes great planes. It's actually of a thicker bond than standard stuff, and it's a good size that you can't normally get. And they'll give it to you for free. Just don't keep walking in there every week taking 20 sheets because it looks a little suspicious. But they'll usually let you have some.
Yeah,
Um,
I like
this one,
when I was in the military. They used to drive. They used to, both the little Chinese restaurants were competing against each other, and one would come in there and drop off the menus, and then 5 minutes later, the other one would come in and take the other menus and drop off theirs. So when I saw them doing that, I'd say like, hey, let me get those other menus, and I'd just take them all.
anyway, you can't just walk up into the restaurant. Hey, you here for more menu? You take menu before. You can't have all menu.
Yeah,
Sorry, I don't mean that any offensive way. Just the fact that it's funny because like it happened to me one time. Like, why you take too many on menus? So
price it too
this this plane though is rather cool. No anhedrals again. All we did to stabilize it was give it a deep fold about halfway through, and it has little bitty feelers, little bitty strakes built up. God, the wing's big. Built onto the bottom there.
Oh yeah, I see them now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're there. They're small and tucked away, but there they are. And that's about the only thing that helps that plane out. Oh God, it destroyed something. I apparently do not have design number 5, which I did number, but yeah, it's toast.
There's a reason because we just decided to get rid
We just decided to get rid of it because it's yeah,
of it.
utterly utterly ridiculous.
That one I don't think flew that well either.
This one did not fly that well.
That one looks terrible.
It looks terrible. Um, Flies pretty good indoors, believe it or not. It's heavy as all get out in the nose. There's this thing. Talk about looking terrible. I'm not exactly sure. I'm not exactly sure what this was even supposed to be. Um, it has a fuselage fold, like real thick. But I don't think we officially gave it one. I think it was actually supposed to kind of rest in your hands, like so. Um, it's got this really weird wing, uh, which is a weird. um, I, sorry, I got to re-stress the fact that that's just strange. This plane did not fly. Could you tell? But it looks cool. It really doesn't look that bad. There's a lot of neat folds in the wing. Boy, I'll tell you one thing. One thing we can do is fold. We can fold. We can't fly, but we can fold. Um,
Yeah, we can fold a, a rectangle piece of paper into a square.
into a square. I mean, look at some of that neat. I mean, those are neat tucked away folds right there. I can't begin to tell you how we did it, which is one of the reasons why I wrote this stuff down. But looks good. This was design number 3. Oh, we tentatively called this one Hammerhead. So this one is one of the named ones.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because yeah, I remember that.
I mean, it does look cool. From November 30th of 2010. Um,
It's been so long.
it's been so long. This is another version of it that we drew up. This is embarrassing. Uh, the end result here was trying to put a giant tail into it, and
Oh, I think that's the one that you tried to put the tail into.
yeah, that didn't work.
Yeah, it made it worse.
Yeah, it didn't. Yeah, I just threw it and flew it for an example, and it landed right on top of the PC here, so it didn't go very far. So yeah, it's more often than not the planes are kind of I don't know, but let's stress again collaboration here. Okay, the point is you get some collaboration, which ultimately could lead to something like this. Now this you don't ever want to see. This is oh god, this is
Oh,
well we called it the Beetle. I wanted to call it the Scarab because it sounded a little bit cooler. This plane, yeesh.
wasn't that the one that all 4 of us built?
This is the one all 4 of us built at one time. Yes. This is the end result of like you would think a night of drinking, but no, it wasn't anything like that. It was just we had the idea we were going to go with it. 4 people took turns of collaboration on this plane, and this is 2 planes welded together to create what you see here, which is a gaggle of ridiculousness. Um, it's really actually not that bad, and a semi decent design. Just I have no idea where people. I don't know. It flies, but it's flappy rear wing kind of flaps. Um, and there's a little missiles was the only one that did fly. This is true. Mine was okay. NASA's there was absolutely crap.
Oh, it was garbage.
It was total garbage. Mine was the first completed one. There's a lot of weight here because of the fusion of the 2 planes. This is one. This is another. Um, yeah, it's and when it ages like this one has, it's
I think on my turn towards the end, I just wanted to.
really. Yeah, it was just. I mean,
I tried.
yeah, I don't think it was a bad idea. I mean, I don't think it was a bad point. Well, yeah, it's a bad point, but it
It was a bad idea.
was a bad idea. But I mean, perhaps combining the 2 planes is what really made it bad. But I mean, I don't know. We didn't do What we need to do is build another 3 or 4 of those and see where we can go. Because see, it doesn't fly that badly. It's just what could you use it for? I don't know.
The flying bus.
The flying bus, yeah. Take. But anyway, that's just shows you like this is a couple of years worth of, well, more than a couple of years worth, but collaboration again. We joined forces and created with some of these, and these aren't that bad. I mean, some of these are absolute hot garbage. Some of these have technology that we definitely wouldn't have been able to come up with on our own.
Yeah, and some of them have technology that we haven't really put on other planes,
Right.
like for the most part.
For the most part, right. And it's in some cases that's a shame. Some of these things are pretty cool. I mean, again, Blade Wing, I think out of most of them, Blade Wing's got a lot of potential, I think. And so does the flying wing with the cylinder. I mean, Hammerhead could possibly. This was just, again, that's testing experimental, like trying to build an asymmetrical plane, which worked, but only in stunt form.
It won't work in any other design because
No,
it won't
yeah.
have enough wing to support the plane.
Like, I wouldn't recommend you try to build a great glider out of something that goes asymmetrical, because you're just going to be grossly misinformed, I guess. I don't know. Oh yeah, this year. Okay, these are not a collaboration. Well, this is a collaboration, but this was simply me trying to build, like, NASA's had lost another one of its designs in Swallow there. I was trying to get it back, and we were trying to base it off of pictures alone,
which was difficult.
Which was very difficult. But these helped. These helped create that.
Because when terrorists attack, they take everything.
You hear that, ISIL? We're coming for you. And I think we just got flagged by the Department of Defense by just mentioning ISIL in our video broadcast. So if anybody appears at your home in the next couple of days, I don't know you. Any of you out there, I don't know who you are. And my name is Ishmael.
I did not know you.
I will meet you at the next place for the bombing, yes?
No.
No? Stop it for free Slurpee. 2 for 1. Anyway, okay, back on track here. The collaboration is key sometimes. You just need to you need to have it. You need to expand your horizons.
And make sure you have enough government funding to keep all your planes.
Oh yeah, that kind of helps too. Yeah, I mean, if nothing else, see if see if there's another country willing to store your planes while you're, undergoing some, conquest or, terrorism or what have you. That may destroy the planes you have.
Or you can just give them to a friend and hope that he holds on to them.
Yeah, there is that too. I mean, and that's where I was going with that. But and sometimes it's good to have friends, but sometimes it's better to have terrorists.
Well,
I have
Here's where the collaboration is going to come in handy. I cannot remember the angle of the anhedral on Spider. What in the world am I doing?
Wait, what do you mean? Are you getting it off? Is it still off or?
No, I think I actually got it, but I'm not sure.
Because this one, I don't know if I built this one with your supervision or not. I think I did obviously to a degree, because it's coded as your bird. But I've got notes on here that you also told me the wings can also be off 90 degrees plus or minus, but you said it kind of prefers 90 degrees.
Well, I'm glad you put that on there.
Well, I always end up having to do that because dude, think about it. Always remember, you're making a paper plane. What's paper primary use? Writing on. So take notes on the birds if you have to, especially when you're out there flying, in case you forget to bring any audio, video, or written log. Right on the bird itself, and just say like, "Hey, this plane was cool. Hey, this plane sucked. Hey, this plane works better when an anhedral is cocked off to one side." I mean, I've got a lot of planes with writing on them for that very reason. And this one says that in fact too. This one says anhedrals can be phase-like. So apparently it wants the wings at 90 degrees, but the anhedrals need to be cocked out. Ultimately, it should look like that. I can't hold it straight. There we go.
I'm trying to make another one. There we go. Ugh.
Dude, the grumpy monkey.
Ooh, a grumpy monkey.
The office of the president of the. Yeah. How do you guys like my little helicopter there? I know that's something we really haven't touched much on, but somebody back there a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away suggested helicopters and ended up being put in charge of the helicopters. And what's he done for us? Absolutely nothing. But we still have.
I think I made like one.
I think he made like one, yes. And although we made some really cool ones, we still don't really have a helicopter force to speak of. I mean, I do, but I don't. So
Ain't nobody got time for that.
apparently nobody's got time for that. You get hard pressed building your helicopters as you like build short range planes. While sometimes short range planes, like some of you out there have seen the ones that can boomerang, and that's all well and good and fascinating, but really I don't get that much fascination out of a plane you can throw and it comes back to you. I mean, it's a novel idea, but I like seeing something glide for what looks like miles. And your short range planes will sometimes embarrass you for that reason because you don't want to build them. You might need them. You might have to have them. Like we like to have them in IVPAC for short range attack. But it's sometimes just a downright bitch to build them because you want something that goes out there. You don't want something that, oh, good, look, this one fell at my feet. But that's good, so whatever. Helicopters are the same way. I mean, all they do is drop.
Here we go. Look at what I got.
Hey, that looks like something you've built before. Whatever could that be?
That's what I got.
Those anhedrals still look a little straight, you know.
No, they're definitely not. I mean,
Okay.
they're definitely not when you look at it like that. I could have taken that and folded it straight down, but I took this tip and folded it back behind that.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see. Yeah. Yeah.
That's part of that's what gives us that nice little sleek angle. Oh,
The angle of it.
I like the way that looks.
I
So
like to move it.
please don't.
I should. Yeah, that's bad. Sorry.
It's not karaoke night.
We'll save that one for another night, folks. I like the way it sits on it. It's like, dude, it's like it's not even resting on its anhedrals. It is sitting there.
Well, yeah, that one.
Yeah, there's enough of the back end there separating that it just sets down perfectly.
And I've started doing it where I tuck all the folds inside.
Ah, so you have changed that. Oh.
Because my last few, I noticed that that was a problem with them, that it was just slowing it down. It was just too much drag. So I decided,
Oh, yeah.
let me tuck them all in. Let me tuck everything all in and create some stress on the wing pockets.
Yes, I seem to remember you talking about that. Yeah.
I can't remember if the yellow one, number 12, I think it was. Was that
The godlike one? Yeah.
Yeah, that one. I can't remember if that one was tucked in or if it was the way you have it there.
I think actually that was like this. Because that was like so early on. You didn't start doing that until like probably 16 or 17.
Yeah.
Not that you must have a great many spiders. Considering how good it flies, I'm surprised you don't have more of them.
Well,
I mean, I'm sitting on number 25 here from last year, so you can't have that many.
No,
And Spider's old.
actually, I probably lost. The problem is, I think I lost some that that I didn't number on the sheet, and I had no way to reference whether or not I had any. So I know
Oh,
I probably had probably a good 20 or 30 more that I just can't account for.
okay. That makes sense.
So I mean, I probably have close to. I have made probably close to
50.
yeah 50, 60 of that particular plane.
I'd imagine you had to. I mean, again, Spider was definitely one of your better flyers.
And we're about to find out later.
Oh, you're going to take it up, huh?
I'm gonna have to take this one out. Both this one and that other one.
This, if this was built the same way as yours, yeah, I definitely look forward to flying this one as well. Because these are great planes. This I don't know what it is about them. The reverse slanted fuselage coupled with the forward slanted anhedrals make this thing. I mean, way more exotic than your standard Delta Diamond.
Yeah, and that's a big reason on why I think it flies the way it does is because of those two angles. It creates this channel for the air to really kind of push through. Um, and I'm just baffled on how this thing even really works. And of course, the stress on the wings that give it this curve
Yeah,
is just crazy.
which I must be missing some on this one because I don't have so much of a curve on this one. And
That's
usually
because
you,
you're that's because it's tucked. It's your stuff is on the outside.
oh, so it prevents the stress.
It prevents the stress because when you
Okay.
fold it like that, that's why I folded it like that because it stressed the plane out so much. So I
Yeah,
didn't fold it back in on itself.
and the
Because
stress
when you take
actually,
that, yeah, when you take that and you fold it back in on itself, the wing pockets underneath just curl,
and that
which
helps the design, right?
it seems to. The one that I flew last night indoors really seemed to like it, and so I might have a more consistent plane now. We'll have to see. And then at that point, then I can start with the add-ons and the and everything else, and see
Here's
where we
one
can go from that.
Here's one thing that makes it kind of interesting is when you do the center of gravity test on it, it is about where you'd picture it to be, but a little bit further back. I mean, typically where you like to throw, typically where you like to throw Spider is right about here, kind of on the forewing a little bit. But the
Yeah, you kind of.
center of gravity's back here.
Yeah, I tend to grab it about right here, almost at the center of gravity. I grab it a little bit of in front of that, sometimes a little bit forward of that.
But that folks,
But
that's
yeah, all the
exactly
way. But there's
yeah.
more weight back here.
But this is exactly what makes this thing a good glider is because its CG is that much further back. Normally you want it. Normally, I mean, if you can make it so that it's well, it's pushing the boundary is what I should say. Because if you make it too far back, of course, it just ends up stalling. But this one is right at that bubble. It's like it's a great place for it to be. And I like to be proud of the collaboration that brought that plane back from the
Yeah, because I
scrap heap.
think this one is actually right here. I'm holding it by one finger.
Wow, that is far back on that one.
Yeah, I'm holding it at one with one finger.
Hey, I
Which
can't see the nose. You could be holding the nose.
I'm not. I'm not. One
I'm
finger.
just
Oh, see.
oh yeah. Okay.
So it it definitely.
See, for the same example, Venom here, which we all agree also flies really good. Look at how far forward that center of gravity is.
Yeah,
I
see,
mean, we're only talking in terms of like quarter inches here, but that makes a substantial difference.
yeah, and if I adjust it one way or the other, it's just gonna it just does not want to stay on the finger. So yeah, I gotta. Whoop.
I mean, you can't really see it too well because of how I'm doing, and I'm not pinching it. I'm just using the tweezers as like a holder, but
Yeah, you're
I,
just trying to
yeah,
balance
I'm
it.
trying to balance it because it's they are stable around here. So, but you can see like it's very far forward on the venom and very far back on the spider,
Which is why it flies.
which is why it flies. This Diablo we made, which is what I was worried about because the weight and the folding back there, it kind of set. That's about equal. It's equidistant to the back or front, the rudder or the nose, but it shouldn't be. It should be more here. And it illustrates it how the plane flies because it kind of flies like a stunner with a tail like that. Not just because you're dealing with a tailplane that kind of kicks it in the butt and makes it like nose up all the time. I mean, that's what that tailplane does. But as long as you have that as a starting point, you can cut some of that off and make it go wherever you want it to go. So
Right,
again,
right.
again, it was the collaboration that got us there. I wanted you to see that technology, especially for Diablo, because I wanted you to work with that, see if you could work with that, and see what you can come up with.
Yeah, because on my other ones that I had, um, I had cut into the back. If you can see what I'm doing here, I cut into the back. Somehow I took my fingers and just cut
and
the paper.
and cut the paper with your fingers. Wow, you got sharp fingers.
Yeah, like this. I just
I
cut
don't
it,
know.
and then like the phase, the one with the thing with the thing that goes like with the thing.
Oh yeah, that yeah.
Yeah, with the I don't even know what it's called.
The DFRWs.
Sure.
Okay, we'll go with that. The one with the thing. Eh? Is that
Yeah,
what you referred?
no.
No,
Um,
not that. Okay.
not, not that. Not that one right there that you have right there on the table with the next to the other planes that go like this. The like the what is it, phase three, maybe four? Just the little thingy where you cut the back at an angle. Make it.
Oh, just the slanted trailing edge.
Yeah, that too.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I couldn't remember what it was called.
I just call it an STE, and I mean it's again we're talking something kind of stupid because it translates out to something real planes already have, like the RSTE, which is reverse slanted trailing edge, which in the real plane world is every wing ever, but something that paper airplanes don't typically have. So kind of construe it as a technology. Yeah, it's dopey, but I have to change that. I've really been looking at that recently and want to change that for that reason because I don't want to call it that. It was like maybe we should just call it standard wing or something. I know DFRW sounds kind of stupid. Most of the time we think of some kind of cool acronym that has another word, but if you can develop something like that, there's a lot of potential in those, and it's a very simple modification. And they're so free because of their location. They don't usually affect the flight that much. It can be put on any aircraft that has any kind of simple trailing edge. I mean, Delta Diamonds, you could try, but it doesn't work so well. I've done it on a couple of them, but you want to return to a Delta Diamond. Please tell me of some ideas you guys might have had, something like that. I mean, if you go with that, I'd like to
Yeah.
know.
All right, I'll be right back. Just keep them entertained.
Keep them entertained. Okay, what we're going to do here is we're going to have lip ball races from here to here. Which one goes first? Which one comes in last? No, I'm sorry. Just dumb. Um, No, but as you notice, like the key thing to this has always been like simple collaboration. You know, you want to work with somebody, you want to have your planes, have an idea of which planes are, put them out in front of somebody and say, hey, what would you do with this? Um, and why it's key to have your designs out there. I mean, a lot of us back in the day, early on, we were doing this kind of secretive about them, and now it's more like, no, you got to share them. You got to let people know because it would be nice to know what other people might come up with. I mean, if you could further design, further design. Well, you wouldn't want to be stuck in the same thing, would you? I mean, I wouldn't like it. I don't. I've got 600 phases. It's like I keep trying to find something better, something farther. He knows. He's got, well, okay, he built like 40 Thunderbolts, but again, we're talking that's the same kind of like how far can you take an interceptor? You only want the interceptor to fly straight, fast, straight, primarily straight. And so not really furthering to design any. I mean, I don't think when he built his, he did anything to it to make it better in any way. There was nothing we really do. The plane did what it was supposed to do. He did put some tech on different ones. And but like mine, if I build 20, usually 12 of them are technology demonstrators of some kind. The others are the only basic ones, just because eventually I want to get one that just flies good. And the standard phase, well, it flies good. Uh, usually doesn't need any help, but every now and then it's nice to have something with. I don't have one within range, but it's nice to have something with a little bit of that, which God knows I would have thought of that on my own probably. It's like it has a set of testicles or something. I don't know, but it works. It's a cool idea. There's just a small enough area. KIA's got the same kind of thing where he uses these, and the DFRWs of course could be any size. He's got a set of these, but they're only like they're cut this far from that back, and they're only this far out. They're really tiny. And if you see the video, this is a video I've just posted, as a matter of fact, that was number SO16. That thing flew great. And all it had was, I mean, they weren't even rear tailplanes. It was like strakes because they're just this bitty small. And
Ain't
that thing
nobody
was
got time for
great.
that.
Yeah, ain't nobody have time for that.
I got a blue glass with a white top.
So I'll just call you Luke Skywalker.
I don't know. It tastes good though. It's milk. Want some?
I, yeah, I can tell it's milk. That's what I was saying. It looks like the blue milk that he always had on Tatooine that everybody jokes about now. Go ahead, pour it on the camera. I would like to see it.
There you go. No.
And I'm not as thirsty. Um, but yeah, his little streaks again, KIA's little streaks. It's kind of like these here. If you can, oh hey, focus,
Focus.
focus. Okay. Um, if you're dealing with a slanted fuselage like some of us like to do, this one here is a pretty good example of how you can take that and well, here, chew up the body like that. Stops there, and
For
you've got a
what
little bit of
reason?
a keel, and now it has a tailplane as well.
For what reason? Who would want to go and do that?
I don't know, but this thing flies wicked. This thing's really cool.
Tell them to cut it out.
Cut it out. And that's what happened. Somebody cut that out. And see if you're a lover of slanted fuselages, you might want to think about doing something like that eventually, just to test it on out and see what you can do.
No.
Also unique on this bird are the anhedrals built in because as you see, they're like essentially just cutoffs onto the wing and then bam, folded on
Yeah,
down.
that's what I did with some versions of Diablo. I cut them. I cut integers into it, and that's why I was like, "Hey, is this similar to a phase if I do this?"
That's neither here nor there.
It's
It's
close.
essentially a variation of those to a degree. I mean, we took the little and heels it had off. This would be the only thing that was any stability aid along the side of the wings. Would it work? Probably not. This thing's got a lot of wing,
Yeah.
but on planes half this one size, it's not a bad idea. Oh, and fluff. I can't remember. I can't remember. I think Farrell introduced me to fluff. Marlowe back in the day, we were building some of these. He built something. One of the I think the Vikings that he had some version of this because um he had wolves on his on the Viking. Viking was the first one that used it, and this is essentially a version of wolves, but I like to call it fluff just because of the purpose that it serves. And if you have one like this, it's utterly ridiculous. And this plane's not folded or taped down in any way, so really a uh, it's really a jumbled mess. But if it was finished, there'd be weight here, there'd be weight here. These would be folded back, and then in theory, of course, the strake or the fin, in this one's case, I'd like to think it's a fin, um, serves its purpose and makes it straighter. But as Mark likes to point out, though, this one in this one's case, the phase it relieves a lot of the stress that it would normally have. So probably counterproductive to put it on the plane. I can't build too many phases with the wing pockets down below because it takes out the stress that makes the phase what it does. I have to build the phase more standard than that.
Exactly. See, that's why I think that I mean that's another reason why this one flies the way it does. Um, that's what this because Ninja needs this. It needs that stress on the wing pocket, and this one's kind of crooked now. I don't know, crooked, crooked. There you go. But it definitely needs the stress because I tried it with everything up top, and I had to reverse a couple of folds to create what I've got here, and because of this, this definitely is the best version of what I've got.
All
And
about
I
all
don't know if
about the meeting of the minds.
calendar or not, but I put on there that I from the other night.
I've not a chance to peruse that yet. I will as soon as we depart this. I have a couple things to put on there myself, so yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and this is I didn't even realize it. This is number 10, people. This is number
Oh,
10.
the celebrity.
This this one, this one, this one, this one was amazing. Like they were all really good. This one was amazing. I
We
got
cannot
this one
stress
stuck.
enough the fact that that one was amazing.
This one was amazing. I got stuck in a bush. I got stuck in another bush, and then I got stuck it up in, and then I got stuck up in a tree, and that was fun to get down.
Um, for future reference, the amazing quotient like is exponentially better the more things it gets stuck in. So like if you get it stuck, say on the top of a third story skyscraper or building, yeah, it's probably damn near extravagant. Something I don't know. It's beyond amazing.
The more out of a place to get stuck in, the better it is. That's how you know you got a good plane.
Perhaps we should point out the fact that it got stuck in about a 6 foot tall bush because people might be picturing I don't know one of those bushes that you like can kick over with your foot,
Oh
only a
yeah,
foot tall. That's nothing.
no, yeah. The bush was actually a little bit taller than I was. I'm 5'6", and the bush was taller, a little bit taller than me. And the bush was actually kind of scenery for the sidewalk and the road. It was next to the road, and if the bush wouldn't have been there, it probably would have gone across the road. So that's why it was amazing when it got stuck there. And then it actually got stuck in the tree that was next to the bush that was actually taller than that, and it was higher than that when it got stuck there, and that was a pain. I ended up finding a safety cone and tossing it up in there and knocking the plane down. Got the cone, and then I got the and I should have taken a picture of that because that was funny. Like I couldn't help but laugh.
What he should have done was taken us live while he flew that, actually, now that we thought about it. But we thought about that after the fact.
That was after the fact.
That would have been really cool. But it was also at night, so we probably wouldn't have seen that much.
Yeah. Well, you would have seen the aftermath,
We would have seen the aftermath.
and it was pretty funny. And then after I hung up with you, is when I got the cone stuck in the tree. You want to talk about it? I mean, I didn't think I could get the cone stuck in the tree, and then I had to
But
get the cone because I was trying to be nice and not take the safety cone from the construction people,
oh,
or at least make it seem like I was just being mean and stuck in the tree. I'm not trying to do that, people. I was trying to just get my plane down.
so if any of y'all listening in Florida was wondering why there was a cone in a tree the other night, like it was him. Oh, you're the bastard that got my cone in that tree.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do with this thing, by the way? People, we saw this. We were talking about this one the other night.
Burn it. Probably just burn it.
What? We made something cool out of this. Probably just burn it. Oh, Lord. Half the collaborative efforts also turn into just collaborative fire burns.
Yep. Fire cats, firebirds.
This one here, this one here, is this one going to get burned too? We're going to lose this one.
Yeah, just burn.
You gotta be kidding me, dude.
This point now, I don't need anything else.
Oh, Lord.
Build 20 of them and they all fly, and you don't have any problems with them.
Apparently has accomplished all he wanted to accomplish, and now he's done. He's done. I've got Thunderbolt, I've got Spider, and I've got Ninja, and I'm good.
I have been working on a design that is consistent, that is not a short range plane or an interceptor. I've been working on a medium to long range plane for a while, trying to find something that is consistent on a regular basis,
And
and I finally found it.
don't let him kid you, folks. He's also been trying to find something that's not a Delta Diamond for about that long too, because he was king of the Delta Diamonds for a while.
Hence, Spider, Vortex, Viper,
Rorix and Twister were also both Delta Diamonds,
and so is Thunderbolt.
and so is Thunderbolt. We once joked about the fact that he was going to have all Delta Diamond Force, which in itself could have been cool, because nobody's done that. I've yet to see a really good and in common use Delta Diamond stunt plane attacker.
But see, that's what Firecat is. Oh yeah, I forgot about Firecat. Firecat's a Delta Diamond.
That's true. Is that a true short range bird?
Yes.
Okay. Well, then I guess it works. I guess he does. I guess he has the potential to go all out and have a all Delta Diamond Force.
But I made Swallow.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I like Swallow because that plane's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
I need to work with it a little bit more because that one actually is really cool.
So I've got two here that you're just gonna scrap.
No, actually, I'm not. That one I may put on the back burner for a minute, but the other one, I'm definitely gonna. I don't know what to do, man, because I finally found something.
Well, I know, but this is what happens to all of us. You go through a great many failures and come up with something good. But I mean, this kind of, this plane kind of led you to this one. I mean, in a way.
It did.
I mean, it's not exactly the same design, but I have that same thing with my vampires. I mean, there's one plane that led me to building the vampires, and some of it was Osprey, but then some of it was an experimental bird that I only built two of, but I'm like, you know what? This is kind of where I want to go with this. Plus, I'll have to admit, your Swallow helped me out with that too.
What part?
Well, it was the overall dimensions of it that I really kind of liked. I like the fact that it was compact in length, semi wide width, and yet it still had a sleek body. I don't know. I was like, how's he?
Well, yeah, you know.
I got to have something. Look at three things, little mentions of it that really intrigued me. So, I mean, I wouldn't exactly call that a full on collaborative effort, but it was because of your design that pushed me to create what I created.
Yeah. See, so here's what I'm talking about. I don't know if you can see that. This is the stress that's being created right now on Spider. As I fold it over,
Holy cow.
you can see that. And
Yeah,
if I, instead of just leaving it and folding it this way, there's no stress.
because it gets alleviated with that bottom like this. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. And then hence you end up with that. Now you do create some when you make the anhedrals and the wings, but by by taking it and folding it over, you're creating that stress inside there. And I take some of it out, but it gives you that curve in the plane, which is something that I've been trying to get into the plane. And I realized that you can't get it from folding it outside. You have to fold it in on itself.
Right. Well, okay. A question on that then is that a different variant than a standard spider? Do you consider that a different variant, or do you just consider it kind of like like I do with javelins? If that's like a V to put that on the inside,
It's definitely not. I definitely don't consider it a different one. No, mostly because that's just one fold.
right? I mean, yeah, you're just reversing the wings. However, you are. I mean, it's a major difference, and it's a different result. I mean, you've got longer range out of that one. So I mean, if my point is kind of like if ever there was going to be a different variant, that was a good reason for it. I know it's a simple thing, but I mean, we're talking paper airplanes here. How much can you do? So I mean, when your basic standard was this thing for the longest time, for a few years, this is how you made it, and then like, whoa, if I took those in, it's different. I would definitely construe that as a different variant. I mean, at least a submodel. How about a submodel?
Maybe a submarine model.
Yes, let's go with that.
Maybe.
I mean, you're going to have to do something like that if Draco works with something like this. That's a different variant.
There, what they think it should be. Maybe
Yeah,
I
we'll
should have
put
everybody out there just just to have them put in the comments below and say,
we'll put
hey,
that up. Yeah, we'll put that in the polls too at the easy. Yeah, there you go. Like, okay, see what you
send
think.
me a different variant of Spider and let everybody else decide. Just do it that way.
Well, gee, I think it doesn't suck. Yeah, and that's more difficult to construct too. Obviously, you're
Yeah.
trying to get that stress put together in there without, I mean, crushing up the bird and just like folding it out like this one here, where you press and fold. You're actually, mm, mm, mm.
Yeah. I have to, put it together and then I have to work it out. Um, just like I'm doing right now. And sometimes it just doesn't work. It just ain't working.
That one's not working.
Oh, it is, but it's just so much stress that it's hard to
Now,
deal with sometimes.
now you building that one? Are you building that one out of another long sheet, like a legal sheet,
Yeah,
or is it
yeah. Eight,
okay?
8.5.
The spiders must be built out of the legal sheets. They must be built out of something bigger than standard.
Yes, they
I don't
must
know if
be.
they're full on like 11 by 14s. The Chinese menus are closer to 11 by 14s, but
Yeah, this is 8.5 by 14.
I can't even tell where this one's. This one is brought to you by. I don't even know. I can't read
Yeah,
it
you
because
see,
it's all tucked in.
pretty good size to it. It definitely has a pretty good size to it.
Well, you built. He built four different. You built four different kinds. You built like because you had V1, 2, 3, and 4,
Oh,
um,
oh,
which
so
related to the size of them. Well, you
so
still,
are
yeah, but
mine.
you still have those. You still, the only one you retired was like 4 or 3 because it was too small. Wasn't it the smallest one?
This didn't take the angle that I wanted it to take.
I think it's like you have this. This equates out to like a V3 or something because it made it on Chinese menu. The one you're building would be V1 because it was a standard one you made, and then V4 was built out of a calendar. The V2 you built
Oh,
out of something smaller, like a regular sheet that you
I
cut down to size, and you didn't.
yeah,
That's the one I think you got rid of that one, right?
I did because that was terrible.
But the others work. The others could be your bomber, your fighter bomber, or so on and so forth. Oh, hey.
Still, this one's taking a beating. This one's taking a beating. There's so much stress in this plane. Like I can't get the fold to go all the way down to the man.
So you're gonna end up with wrinkled skin. It's gonna all be bunched up.
I'm trying to I'm trying to take it out right now. All the wrinkles.
Diablo does not have that problem. Diablo is just one sheet, no stress, just yeah, really
Yep.
light little plane.
Yeah, really light. And I think that's half of its problem too.
It didn't used to be a problem. It used to be golden.
Yeah, but I think it's because of where we lived and everything else at the
I
time.
know. I mean, yes, of course. There's certain degrees, yes, geographical variances, sure, but and I mean, it's always nice for somebody else to build your plane and try it out wherever the heck they are. But I mean, hey, javelin flies like javelin no matter where I go.
Yeah, but that's javelin.
Well,
Thunderbolt.
Thunderbolt's the same way. Thunderbolt's the same way.
Yes. Which is why I want you to actually take Ninja and fly it because I really want to see what it does down there.
I will
I just
fly it out
up
there,
there, up there, not down there.
up
Nothing's
there.
down.
Yes.
Nothing's down to me anymore except Cuba
um.
and Key
Oh,
West.
OAE. Will give you a shout out. I'll make sure I'm build a few more of your birds and test fly them out here. I'll post some of those videos when I get the opportunity when flying season begins here, which should be any time now. We're getting warmer weather. There's no more snow, so try not to jinx that. Um, but
Yeah,
definitely something more than your
what's that
Warhawk.
that you just said?
I said
Snow?
don't.
What is that?
Yeah, whatever. It's that thing. Hey, for you guys, that's what happens when the Cuban drug lords get shot down over Miami, and they just that white stuff that falls. Yeah, just
Oh,
pretend. Oh,
is that what that is?
yeah, that's snow.
Yeah, for us,
That
it's
is,
anything below 70 degrees.
man.
That's wintertime. Anything below 70 degrees.
Hey, you just said you got it down to like 40 there the other day. I don't know.
Yeah, it did. That's what I'm saying. It's wintertime when it gets below 70 degrees.
And I remember when I was in the military and I got stationed, I got TDY down there. I think it was '96. It actually snowed. Of course, we were further up Florida than you were.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because it
This
hadn't
was in
snowed.
Stark, but still snowed while I was there.
Yeah, because well, it snowed in Tampa this year.
Okay. Well, see, that's when Mother Nature still liked me. She doesn't like me anymore. So,
Oh well, Sarah said it frosted. What
oh, it
you know,
frosted. Okay.
frosted snow. It did that in Tampa, and it didn't do it here. And in Tampa's a couple hours of snow.
There was a bright, sparkly sheen on the oranges. Is that what you're saying?
Yep,
Ah,
pretty
that's
much. Yeah,
frost.
oranges became crystallized at night.
Ah, that's frost. Yes.
One, two. I got an extra. Oh yeah, it's a freezer burnt orange is what it is.
Wow, that's pretty spectacular considering they came from outside.
Yeah.
Oh, people want to go ahead and point this out here while I've got this on hand because I wanted to mention this the other night. This is Mark's bird. Mark hasn't named it. We're playing with it. Again, this one, because of these strikes, seems to have a version of North that works. North being the no rear fuselage I've been trying to work with. It seems to be a relative failure, unless you do something like this, apparently, where the strikes are taking the wind flow away from the lack of fuselage. And there's definite reasons why North shouldn't work, but if you do something like this, it would. I wanted to compare that to make sure that everybody knows the difference between North and this bird, which looks normal to you, but I consider the zero weight fuselage, the NWF, or I'm going to change it to something like the acronym will be more like zero weight fuselage. Something we should work with some more, I think. This plane also has it. Where you're doing all of your folds, and instead of taking your folds standardly like Ninja has it, where they're straight to the keel, this one everything stops at the wing, at where the wing pockets are. Nothing goes down. So this is just a single sheet all the way across. The wing pockets do not come down and tuck into here. I'm really trying to work that some more. I'm hoping some other people maybe get a little experimentalization with that because I think that's a good way to go. I think it's got some great potential. When the wind lift, any airlift that goes onto the plane is just on all the weight and nothing there. I think it's got potential. Greatness or greater glides are achievable with something like that. So if there's anything you got that you could possibly work that into, please do tell us about it. I'd like to know. Obviously, something like this couldn't do it, but I'm definitely going to try to work that into more planes. Still want him to work with this one. This one's cool.
Yeah. I think nothing crazy.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
They're starting to pay for it.
That is a big hand.
Yeah, I think with that, I think we're gonna about call it. We tried to cut this shorter, but it didn't work.
No, but we got to talking about some stuff, and people got a good idea of what we were getting at there. So,
Yeah.
Introducer Ninja collaboration, good stuff, people.
Ninja.
We expect great things out of that plane.
Greatness is to come.
He's a little big on himself, isn't he? No. I didn't know my microphone was good enough for him to hear that. Yeah, well, okay. The plane should be good. We'll leave it at that.
So make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. Helps out a lot. Sponsored by State Farm.
God, help me. Oh.
Okay.
You know what's going to cost us, man. That's going to cost us, man.
It's not sponsored by State Farm. I'm just wearing the shirt.
I'm just wearing the shirt. Yeah. Well.
All right.
Thanks for watching.
See you next time.
Yep. Keep them flying, people.